Hello students, in this video we will discuss the normal mode of analysis for one of the molecule which can give you spurious modes in case whenever we do the calculation using internal coordinates. Okay, so we will do the Cartesian coordinate as well as internal coordinate in this. This is an ML5 type of thing which I have taken an example. So you know ML5 is what? Square pyramidal. Okay. So let's discuss this, how it comes out, as you asked me to make a video on this during the class. So I am putting it on the classroom after this, after recording. So in ML5, when we go to the character table, you have seen there is identity, 2 C4s, 1 C2, 2 sigma V's and 2 sigma V primes. You know how it works. This C4 is either clockwise or anti-clockwise, the way you want to take. Then the C2 is also parallel here, similarly C4 here. Okay, so this C4 goes like this inside. This L5 is above the plane. Okay, you know this, you are able to understand it. So this is rotating this one like this. Okay, so now number of unshifted atoms, we are going to do directly that, and then the Cartesian. Okay, what will be the number of unshifted atom for E? Since there are 6 atoms, 6. For 2 C4s, what will be there? For 1 C4, what will be there? The number of unshifted atom 1. So for 2 C4s, it will be 2, right? For C2, it is 2 because 1 C2 will give you 1. 2 sigma V is giving you 4, and then 2 sigma V prime giving you 2. You know which one is sigma V and which one is sigma V prime? Can you figure out the 2 sigma V's in this? The sigma V which is parallel to C2, C4, and one is perpendicular to that. This you can find out. If there is a doubt, you can ask me, okay, during the class. So what will be the Cartesian for this? 18, 2, minus 2, because you know this, for C2 it is minus 1 generally, the resultant, right? For this one it is 1 for C4. For E it is, you know the number of atoms, you know this is 3. So 6 3s are 18. This is there. Then for this one it is 4 and this is 2 again. So we know these sigma V's. These are 1 and 1. Right? So what will be the Cartesian in this case? This is the multiplication. 3 into 6, 1 into 2, 1 in minus 1 into 2. This one we have done before also. This one you can check first of all for 3 x's only. Then you can go for complete 6 atoms. Okay. So for this, when we do the degeneration, then we get this one. I am not using the degenerate formula and calculating it for you. This you can do it. I think I have taught you now. And this is 5e. This is total 3n. Now when you subtract the rotational, what is the rotational in this? Check the character table according to the this A2 plus E from the character table, right? And translational is A1 plus E. Okay, so you can subtract this, and what you are going to get? A vibrational mode, which is 3A1 plus 2B1 plus B2 plus 3E. I think I am clear, right? Okay, so this is one we are getting. Now let's try with internal coordinates whether we are getting the same answer. So I have drawn it here beforehand, and just you can see this is again the same one, but we are taking the internal coordinates. So internal coordinates means we are going to take the bond vectors and the bond angles. So now there are 4 bond vectors, right? 5 bond vectors in fact, right? One is above the plane, so they are planar, this one. So we are going to take this planar bond vector, and one is this one, which is you know, the standing one. So let's list the bond vectors. Let's just list them. How many internal coordinates are there? Bond vectors. Okay, let me write them here. कौन कौन से बॉन्ड वेक्टर्स हैं इसमें? So the one is you know, R1, R2, R3, R4. These are all planar. right? They are all in one plane. Then R5, this is vertical. This is 1, right? Then alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and alpha 4. These are all the 4 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 angles between these two. So these are again planar. There are 4 angles. Then there are 2 more angles which this L1 and L4 makes with L5. That is beta 1 and beta 2. So beta 1 and beta 2, 2 more angles. So how many internal coordinates are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 internal coordinates are there. You know, generally number of internal coordinates should be either equal to, okay, 3n minus 6 or 3n minus 5 depending on the molecule. Okay. So we should always check whether these are equal to or greater than. There are both the options. Okay. So generally what happens is whenever you calculate, these internal coordinates should come either equal to or greater than this 3n minus 6 or 3n minus 5. Now here how many atoms you are having? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6 atoms are there. So 3 into 6 minus 6, if we do 18 minus 6, that means 12 should come, right? But how many we are getting? 11. So if this comes like this, either it should be equal to or greater than. If it comes less than that, most of the time you get the spurious modes. Okay. So if you are getting like this, don't calculate using internal coordinates in the exam also, unless asked to do so. Okay. So now let's do the calculation. So total internal coordinates assumed here are like 2. Okay, there will be 4 angles, no? So it is coming out to be, yeah, there will be 4 angles, because this will make angle with these two also, right? With L2 and L3 also. So beta 3 and beta 4, sorry. Okay, so there will be 4 angles in all. So adding 2, there will be 13. Okay. Okay, so what we are getting is number of internal coordinates either should be equal to or greater than that. So that means they are greater than this. Okay, but still we get the spurious modes. So I take back those that point, that obviously the spurious modes arises when only they are less than that. The spurious modes can arise in any case whether the number of coordinates are less or more. Okay, but most of the time these internal coordinates, generally we choose them that way, that either they should come equal to or greater than whatever the modes we are expecting from 3n minus 6. Okay. Okay, now let's do the calculations. So for this, let's do for R5. Okay, let's start with the simple one, this R5. What will happen when you apply E to it? 1 unshifted atom, so it will not be shifting with any case, so that's why we are taking this one. Then let's take it for R1 to R4. Okay, so it is 4 0 0 2 0, because this is shifted completely. When we are talking about the angle alpha and angle beta, I am talking about these angles combined. I am not talking them here separately. You can do them separately, but you have to finally combine and write, because otherwise the solving becomes too much lengthier for you. Okay, so 4 0 0 0 and 2. How is it 4? 4 is okay. All the 4 are not shifting. C4 mein all the angles are shifting. Here also in C2 mein they will shift. Sigma V, which is parallel to that, they will shift. Which is perpendicular to that, 2 will not shift. Okay. In beta also 4 0 0 2 0. Okay. Because beta also behaves in the same way. एक beta 1 आएगा एक केस में, दूसरा beta 1 आएगा दूसरे केस में. Out of 4 betas, only 1 will not shift, depending on your C2. Where you are applying your C2? Can you make out? Sigma V, sorry, not the C2. Which side you will apply sigma V? Right? Remember it, right? For square planar, how to apply the sigma V's. So 40020. So what will be this? IR, it is IR mode. Here it is A1. In this case, when you compare from the character table, here it is A1 plus B1 plus E. Here it comes out to be A1 plus B2 plus E. And here again A1 plus B1 plus E. Okay. I'm using some gel pen, so just bear with it, okay? I should have used another pen. Okay, now let's do the calculation. So what you are getting for internal coordinates is alpha plus beta, 4a1 plus 2b1 plus b2 plus 3e. What you are getting for Cartesian? From Cartesian, the vibrational modes you are getting 3a1 plus 2b1 plus b2 plus 3e. What is the difference? You are getting one extra mode in case of a1, right? So since the alphas are the angles in a plane and about a common point, their simultaneous increase or decrease would have been an impossibility. Okay, so these alpha angles, they are in a plane, they are all planar, right? Planar angle. When they are a planar angle about a common point, their simultaneous increase or decrease, right? It is impossible, because you can't simultaneously increase and decrease a planar one. It's a planar angle, right? I can show you these two, these four. So that's why we can neglect this. This is a spurious mode. You can make out from this. Practically it is not possible. So therefore now this becomes 3a1 plus 2b1 plus b2 plus 3e. We are going to neglect 1 because this is not matching with our Cartesian one, and that only we take it as a standard. Okay. So this 3a1, okay, where is my camera? This 3a1 is IR active as well as Raman active. 2b1, you can check it from the character table. It is not IR active. This is IR active and Raman active. This one is Raman active. B2 is not IR active, only Raman active. And E is Raman as well as IR active. Okay. No need to rectify how to draw them. If still they ask, you can draw some of the vibrational modes that either they are symmetric or stretching modes. Suppose I ask you to draw stretching mode for this. You can draw 1 or 2 stretching modes, right? The stretching mode will come out like this. This is a symmetric stretching, right? Then similarly anti-symmetric, if I want to make, you can do this arrow the other side and this arrow the other side, and these arrows pointing in the same direction. This becomes stretching, right? So bending modes also, bending modes will involve angles. Okay. So these generally 2a1 plus b1 plus e. These are stretching modes here. And a1 plus b1 plus b2 plus 2e. They are bending modes for us. These we have seen from internal Cartesian coordinate system. I think this explains your spurious modes. Similarly, I want to give you, I'll give you this question in assignment also, but I want you to try this ethylene molecule. Okay, try this, you will get them some spurious modes in this also, C2H6. Okay, that's all for this video.